Hey guys, this is Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another My Hero Academia manga chapter review for you guys as we continue on with the I guess new war arc that we're getting here. Coming off the last chapter, which I thought was pretty solid of a chapter. Apparently some people in the community didn't think it was. Some people liked it. From what I saw, some people didn't like it. I don't know why people didn't like it. They felt like the chapter was bad or something for some reason. I haven't seen those videos. I just see some thumbnails or just some people's opinions, and stuff like that. Personally, I didn't think the chapter was bad, but yeah, but again, some people just bring up the whole thing is, this feels really rushed. Listen, of course it feels rushed. If the author already has come out and said that he wants to end My Hero Academia within the year, so they're going to have to rush some things. Again, like I said, my whole thing on this whole idea that the storyline feels a lot more fast paced, a lot more rushed. Listen, you can still have a solid conclusion even if things are rushed. And like I said, whenever the anime comes, they can always draw some things out and just ask Horikoshi for his opinion. Like, you know, what were some of your things you were thinking we could go here to try to just draw out the fight and everything. But like I said, I have no issue with the fact that it's rushed. My only thing is I'll hate this whole rushed, ending of a story, because, well, it's based on how the story ends. If we get a rushed conclusion where it doesn't feel satisfying to me, well then, of course, I'm gonna rip it apart and be like, okay, Horikoshi should have probably just taken his time with this, and just came out and just said, this is the final arc story I'm doing, and My Hero Academia will be done. But essentially, with him saying that the My Hero Academia will be ending within the year, well then, of course, things are going to be rushed. Some battles might not get that type of conclusion you might expect it to get, and stuff like that. He's still building the storylines and everything. He's still setting the plot lines up. Again, we're in late March, we're essentially in April now. So he's got a few more months to do it. Again, like I said, honestly, for me, I take that whole, I want to finish the storyline within a year. I take that with a whole grain of salt. I really don't believe he can finish this final arc within the year. And because like I said, we're already in the 4th month of the year. I highly doubt this story could be finished. Now, the only way I can see it possible is this: we barely get any breaks for this series, and it's already My Hero Academia, because I read the unofficials, it already said it was going to go on break. So okay, my thought was, well, that means My Hero Academia rarely, if not never, will get any breaks. That's one thing. Well, we're getting a break next week. And then two, the side fights will have to be resolved fairly quickly. Again, give solid conclusions to those fights, like the Ochako and Sue versus Toga fight, the Dabi and Shoto fight we saw get set up at the end of this chapter. Make sure those fights end solidly, and then obviously you got to deal with the whole One for All thing and stuff like that. I still think we're gonna get a All Might sacrifice scene, and then it's gonna be crazy. But again, like I said, we're gonna see how things are gonna go. But I've always thrown out that opinion. Yeah, you can say it's rushed, but the author literally told you what to expect so you don't get mad. If you really think you want to spend time in all this development and stuff like that for a course of 1 year, well then the author will have lied in a statement. Like I said, Horikoshi, he's probably just ending the story because maybe he's probably getting exhausted continuing on and writing the story, which again, like I said, I respect him for wanting to just say, I kind of just want to end this now and kind of just rest and relax. And then two, like I said, the fan base, My Hero Academia fan base, whether you like it or not, it's one of the freaking most toxic fan bases in the anime community. And it got so bad to the point that you even had people even sometimes attacking him, like his own personal Twitter account, and stuff like that. And I can understand why he would want to end the series within the year, because he knows I'm getting kind of sick and tired of the same repeated fashion, and then, fans sometimes coming down my throat, if they don't like something. And again, like I said, this is all a fictional story. If you're really gonna make a fictional story like that serious, as if it's like somebody in your family dying, or someone, or like your favorite sports team losing, well then, truly you don't understand. Like, this guy's a human being. He's just writing the story how he wants to write. So like I said, if you want to come up with your own fan manga, come up with your own fan manga. Go right ahead. But anyways, I kind of spent a lot talking about that aspect of why I think My Hero Academia probably should not get the hate. Listen, you're all good to criticize. If you don't like something, you don't like something, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I guess it kind of irks me from the standpoint, like, I don't know, maybe it's just a me person. Maybe I just don't like to see some of my favorite series get criticized, but I just don't like it how maybe too much people are just overblowing the hype, and especially using their criticisms as a reason of saying like, oh, this story's rushed. Yeah, but go look at the author's comments a few months ago. He literally said, My Hero Academia is going to be ending within 1 year. Literally prepped us before going into this arc. That's why, going into this arc felt rushed. This arc feels a little rushed, yada, yada, yada. But we'll see. Anyways, let's get to the chapter. Chapter 349, titled Battle Flame. Cover page, we get a cover page art of Mariko and Bakugo. Just getting more of an understanding of how, or gives a better look at Mariko's prosthetics. Pretty cool. I still think her prosthetic leg is weird, but her prosthetic arm is pretty dope. It's got like lasers and everything on her, like these things that can activate lasers and stuff like that. But let's get to it. Anyways, we pick up from the last chapter when Deku leaves Octo Island after Toga did her whole confession. And essentially, we get some kind of interesting building here for his final one-for-all ability, his new quirk he can get and everything. Now, Deku essentially is using the properties of Fajin, Float, and his Air Force to essentially, fly, essentially. He's just boosting himself, like, say, when Luffy goes Gear 4 and, One Piece, huh? Yeah, that's great. I did start reading the manga for One Piece, but if you're wondering, am I going to do a chapter review? I'm probably not. I'll think about it. But anyways, like Gear 4 of how Goku propels himself, flying through the air. That's kind of what Deku's doing with his Air Force and stuff like that. Now, Deku doesn't feel like he's going all too fast and everything, and obviously he's worried. And that's when he's like, maybe I should just think about using 100% Fox, all for, one for all 100% Fox, or Fox 100%, and stuff like that. But the second user comes in and says, hey, dude, calm down, take a chill pill, stay focused, don't lose yourself there, because your judgment is being clouded with what you're trying to do and everything and stuff like that. He goes on to make the mention. It's like, so you were thinking about using all those things, but your hero costume and those support items you got, they won't be able to handle that stuff, huh? And Deku's like, well, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you're gonna be, if you do that, you're gonna freaking use up dang near almost, probably more than likely, all your energy just to try to get there in a hurry. And you're gonna end up damaging your own, support items, your own costume, because of it and stuff like that. So that's when we get the interesting question from the second user. He's like, how about this? Did you use my meta ability? Now, he doesn't say quirk. He says meta ability because he's from the era when quirks first started. So he doesn't identify quirks as, well, quirks. He calls them meta abilities. Like if you watch the CW Flash show, they call them metas, meta humans and stuff like that. People with powers. And Deku goes on to make the confirmation. He's like, yeah, I tried to. And the second user tells him, I thought I told you that attack was supposed to be meant as a last resort. As One for All essentially grew over time, my ability is a lot stronger than what it used to be when I was alive. So it essentially evolved into a pretty crazy, unique power. So we're already getting set up that whatever the second user's power is, it's insanely strong now due to the fact that from being it passed down through all the different generations, it's got it immensely stronger. I don't know what this freaking new quirk is. I have no idea what this quirk could be, but it's going to be a very interesting plotline. I just feel like they're going to save that. Horikoshi's saving that till, he gets to the final battle against Shigaraki. Well, the question is, will the quirk work out? We'll see. So yeah, I wouldn't also be shocked if it's like a quirk that actually kills an opponent, that because it's that powerful. We'll see, but yeah, so that's the thing. Now, the second user, he goes in to make the mention saying it's not something that can be wielded the usual way as I once did it. And they're also doing it as a way, they're also, kind of symbolizing this way of the quirk of being in a locked cage door with like a bunch of locks on the door. And stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, the second user, as Deku's continuing on, he's like, listen, don't lose focus. You got to stay, you got to understand what's ahead of you right now. Only focus on what you got ahead. Don't worry about your friends and your allies. They'll take care of themselves. You have to have, trust and belief in them that they can overcome what they're facing and stuff like that. He's essentially just telling Deku, listen, your friends are going to be fine. Just trust and believe in them. That's the reason why you came back to UA. You got to believe in them. Only focus on what you have on your road, and that's taking down Shigaraki and One for All, or All for One. Anyways, we cut back to Octo Island with Ochako and Sue and stuff like that. Sue's happy the fact that Midoriya is gone because, well, he probably would have not ignored what Toga would have said and continued to just chastise and wondered why Toga's doing what she's doing and stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyways, Toga goes on to say, I've had enough of Ochako, Izuku, and Sue. I love you all, but I'm done. I'm ready to be who I want, and I want to live the way that feels right to me. As she's holding on to her blood cases, she says, right, Jin, because we know she has twice as blood. So that's foreshadowing she could end up starting to use Sad Man's Parade. So yeah, now, so you get this nice panel where Toga's like, I'm Himiko Toga, and I've got no use for heroes, so get ready to say bye-bye. And Ochako's like, no thanks. I'm also living the way that's right for me as Ochako Uraraka. So that final battle is being set up. We then cut over to Kamino Ward, and we see it doused in flames, essentially. Not doused in flames, not all of it, but near the All Might statue, there's flames everywhere, and there's other Nomus and stuff like that. So and we find out that's because of obviously Dabi, aka Toya Todoroki, and stuff like that. And essentially he's just hanging, having fun. He's like, this is fun, right, guys? This is fun. Now we see Ida's out of this whole column of fire. And he's like, I can't get any closer, otherwise my engine pipes are gonna end up being, exhaust, and they're gonna end up, ruining my engine. So he can't do anything. He has to fight he's essentially have to fight the surrounding Nomu in the area. But he was calling out to Shoto to see if he's okay now. Todoroki and the and Endeavor's four sidekicks, they're with Todoroki in the fire to back him up and everything. Now, obviously W's like, oh man, I really wish my father was coming, but he sent out his freaking son to do his bidding and stuff like that. Now, one of the sidekicks, one of Endeavor's sidekicks, Kiddo, is there, and Onuma is telling him, "Hey, dude, are you all right? Because you don't have no fire resistance quirk, and stuff like that. You might want to get out of here, otherwise you're gonna freaking burn up, and that's it." But Kiddo essentially reassures, "Listen, I've been training with my quirk long enough for once since I've been around in Endeavor, and I can manipulate the heat air currents that are going around, so I don't get affected by the heat because." Because we know that Burnin, Todoroki, and Onuma, they all have fire resistant base quirks, and stuff like that. But Kiddo's just like, "No, it's fine. I'm cool. I'm just manipulating the heat air currents so I don't end up getting myself burnt and stuff like that." So, yeah, and everything. But I'm good. Now, Burnin goes on to say his family drama may be a can of worms, but Endeavor shows up and gets the job done, even if he does stink like an old fart. That includes today. And now he's handed off us 3 junior stinkers to you. So you got our full support, kid. And obviously Shoto's like, "Thank you for burning," or "Thank you for that burning." And obviously that's when Todoroki is like, "Toya, no, Dabi. You got it all wrong. I'm not here on anyone's orders," because Dabi's like, "Oh, please, this further shows you that you're Endeavor's puppet. He sent you here to fight me because he doesn't want to face me," and stuff like that. And Todoroki's like, "Please, I didn't make that decision for myself. I made my own decision because I wanted to stand here before you." And obviously Dabi's like, he doesn't believe it at all. He's like, "Please, just lie. Just say that you're freaking, under the orders of your dad." And he goes on to say, "Stellar job being the perfect little pawn Dad always dreamed of." Todoroki rebuttals that statement, saying, "If I ignored you and kept trying to be a hero anyway, that might be true." And obviously Dabi's like, "Fair enough." And he goes on to say, "This war was all about the people involved. It's not the mindless soldiers following orders are the real movers and shakers. This is what happens when everyone's got feelings and urges that start firing off. Some want to change the world they live in." And we get a whole panel of some of the League of Villains. We even see Spinner in this. So Spinner looks like he's in a fight somewhere. We don't know where he's at, but he looks like he's in a fight somewhere. Then, Dabi continues with statements saying, "Are destroyed. The warped imbalances build up over time that we all came to accept. Behold the limitations of the superpowered society. That's me. That's all of us." Todoroki then asked Dabi the question, "You never answered this question. You were alive this entire time, essentially. Why did you never come back home after you left?" And the chapter ends off with Dabi essentially saying, "Oh, you want to know that story? Okay, I'll tell you that story. I'll tell you why I'm still alive and kicking, and tell the tale when I never stopped burning hotter than you, his masterpiece." And he goes on to say, "I'll tell you how I became Dabi and everything." And you get the final panel of the chapter where Dabi's burning so damn hot. His skin is actually burning. You literally can see his skin burning off his skin, burning off his face. And you can actively see like the muscle fibers and dang near almost his jawline, start to be there. So I really do feel like, oh my goodness, we've always speculated, are they going to kill Toga, Shigaraki, and Dabi? I really feel like I potentially could see Dabi dying, from the standpoint, maybe we can see him dying just from the standpoint because we know his flames are so hot that it actually burns his skin. And we see it here. I'm like, Dabi's looking like a demented person. At this point, he's completely demented. And that is freaking scary. So yeah, but that image was chilling. When this gets animated, bro, that's gonna be a chilling scene. Just to see his skin falling off, you just see the muscles. You literally see the muscle jawline holding your top jaw and your bottom jaw together. I'm like, yo, wow, that's a That's very descriptive of how they drew that. But yeah, so it seems like now I haven't went on vids after the chapter just released and everything. So yeah, it's coming in 14 days. I just looked at it now, so we're getting a break. So we're gonna get the backstory, the ever looming backstory to find out, okay, how did Dabi or Toya become Dabi? Because we know after the fire, accident he was in, his jawline came off and everything and stuff like that. It'd be very interesting to find this, because this is a one piece of backstory for Dabi that we do not know yet. We're gonna probably get that revealed in the next chapter in 2 weeks, which absolutely sucks. But hey, we gotta wait for everything. But crazy enough, crazy stuff. I feel like we're gonna get into that whole backstory that's gonna be explained. Maybe we cut back over to Ochako and Sue in their fight against Toga, or maybe we cut over to what Endeavor's doing against All for One, because remember, he's fighting All for One with the group of heroes over there. So yeah, anyways, I know this chapter was a solid chapter, another solid chapter, but yeah, that's my thoughts. The fact that we don't know what the heck the second user's quirk is, it definitely sounds like it's gonna be devastating. And then this Dabi stuff going on here. So yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode. I gotta stop saying that. Keep watching too much anime. This week's chapter for My Hero Academia, what are things that you liked, what are things you didn't like, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more My Hero Academia content, whether it's in the form of the anime that's going to come out for season 6 in the autumn, and or the manga. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night when checking this video. Until then, guys, stay safe out there. Peace.